Mr. Lewison.
Mr. Speaker, primary schools strive for diverse form classes with a good mix of gender, race, and learning ability. Thus, form classes at primary 5 and primary 6 can have students of several subject combinations, including a mix of students taking subjects at foundation and standard levels. Beyond classes, students also have opportunities to interact with their peers through school-wide platforms such as co-curricular activities. Thank you.
Mr. Lewison.
Thank you, Sen. I thank Minister for the reply. Two clarifications. One, could I ask then how exactly is streaming done at P5? Then how do we segregate them into different classes based on their learning abilities, or as Minister said, is it based on their race or their interests? Two, I think Min Chan shared during the MOE COS debates that we would have mixed form classes in secondary schools where students can interact with peers of different strengths and interests. Can I check whether that will be extended to primary schools as well? Thank you.
Sir, I thank the member for the supplementary question. Yes, as I mentioned, we do group students in form classes at primary 5 because at primary 4, they take a test to ascertain their competency level, and they are allowed to then decide based on consultation with their parents too on the subject level that they are prepared to take, whether it is a foundation or at the standard level. And some students do take 1 or 2 subjects at the foundation levels, depending on their level of abilities. But let me just give a broad overview as to how we allocate students on their class formation. So when allocating students to classes, schools aim to create an inclusive and caring learning environment so as to nurture and develop students holistically. So we provide the foundation for students to shape their attitudes towards learning, build future knowledge and skills, and develop soft skills that are needed for them to navigate in the future world, which is really very challenging for them. So this is better achieved with diverse classrooms within the classroom setting, of course, as diverse as we can to provide better social mixing. But there are certain considerations given the class size that we have. So these considerations include having enough common subjects for the form class to bond, but it also depends on the capability of teachers with a wide range of abilities and, of course, resource limitations. So school is given flexibility to manage and operationalize grouping. So we want to manage, as I mentioned in my earlier reply, better social mixing between gender, ethnicity, abilities. But I think more important, sir, we understand the members' concern about social mixing. Social mixing is really but one of the many considerations in how students are grouped in classes. But we must be careful that social mixing, if brought to the extremes, may impose more challenges for our teachers on how they can teach. So we want to strike a balance in managing what we can do, but certainly beyond the classrooms, we also facilitate social mixing through other platforms, as I mentioned earlier, in CCA activities. Thank you.